Hey everyone, it's Shadow the Rat, and in today's video I thought I'd go ahead and remake my video on how to train a rat to spin. So spin is one of those really fun behaviors because it's super easy to train, and not only that, but it's a really great confidence booster if you're just starting out training your rats. So to go ahead and get started, all you need are some treats. I recommend a liquid treat like yogurt or meat baby food, your rat, some sort of area your rat is familiar with, and that's basically it. You can optionally use a clicker, but it is not necessary if you don't want to. Anyways, to get started, what you want to do is present your rat with the treat and then lure them around in a circle before rewarding them. Now I do want to warn you because not all rats are going to know how to follow a lure right off the bat. If your rat is one of these rats, you have a few different options. First, you can train your rat in little chunks by just rewarding them every few steps. So instead of asking them for the entire behavior of spinning around for a treat, what you want to do instead is reward them every fourth of the spin, then every half of the spin, and so on until you're making them complete an entire spin before giving them the treat. The other option is to simply work on luring with your rat before training spin. To do this is really simple as well. All you have to do is have your rat follow the treat for one step before rewarding and slowly add more and more steps until they're following it for at least 5 steps, and at that point you can be pretty sure that your rat has mastered the lure and is ready to move on to more complex tricks. Okay, so after your rat will follow the treat in a circle, what you want to do is start to speed up your circles. So go a little faster each time, and what this will do is not only prevent your rat from getting stuck in a rut of just following your hand in a circle, but it will start teaching them to transition from following the lure to actually spinning on a hand cue. So in my case, the hand cue is simply me raising my hand and flicking it in the direction I want my rat to spin. In this case, we're only going to be teaching one direction first because you don't want to be confusing your rat, but after that you can teach the second direction, and I will have a clip later on of my rat Cookie performing both directions on cue just to show you how cool that can be. Anyways, to keep teaching spin, what you want to do is once your rat can follow the lure in a relatively fast manner, you're going to want to start raising the lure above their head. So instead of just luring them in a circle on the ground, you want to start slowly raising it each time that you lure them around. So at first you might do it at their arm height, then a little higher at their shoulder height, then their head height, and so on until it's above their head. Again, this is to take them from the lure to the new cue, which is what we want them to spin on. At this point, you want to finish getting spin on cue by making the cue that you want your rat to spin on, which again, in my case, is taking my hand, raising it, and then flicking it in the direction I want my rat to spin in, and then rewarding them. Now, if your rat spins without the cue, you don't want to reward them. This is important because if you reward them every single time they spin without the cue being present, what they're going to learn is when I spin, I get treats, not when I see that cue, I spin and then I get treats. And if your rat learns this, it's going to be much more difficult to teach them different behaviors on cue simply because they think, well, I can just do this one behavior and get food, so why should I try something else? So yeah, really important to get this on cue as fast as possible. Once your rat is reliably spinning, only reward them when they're doing it on your cue. And once you can make your cue and your rat will spin, they've learned the trick. So at this point, you have a few different options. If you'd like to make the trick a bit harder, you can ask them to spin several times by holding your hand in the spin cue until they do 1 or 2 or 3 spins, and then rewarding and ever so often switching it up, having them do a different amount of spins. You can also teach your rat to spin in the other direction and then have them alternate which way they are spinning depending on the cue you show them. So I'm going to have a clip on screen right now of Cookie spinning in different directions depending on how I cue her. Okay, so that's really all there is to it, and hopefully you found this video helpful. This trick is great for rats of all ages. You can see the rats who were being trained to spin in this video were only around 4 weeks old, but I've also trained rats as old as 1.5 years or even older to spin on cue, so there is really no age limit. Okay, so again, thank you guys for watching, and if you want, you can check out my rat website at www.rattricks.weebly.com, link in the description. Other than that, if you guys would like to check out more trick tutorials, I will have them linked in the description down below. Okay, that's pretty much it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!